Hello Stampers, Deb Valder here, your Fun Stampers Journey Coach, and I'm so excited to bring you this adorable little card today done with our Hydrangea stamp. It is found on page 24 of our Bloom This Way mini catalog, and it is called, let me just grab the page, it's called Bloom Burst. It's got a hydrangea and it's got some three really adorable little sayings. I've done quite a few of videos for this little stamp set so far, so make sure you check it out in our Bloom This Way catalog. It's on page 24. It's absolutely gorgeous. The detail in it is beyond belief. It's just absolutely gorgeous. But today I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to actually show you it done with an existing die to go along with it, and it complements it very, very well. So here's the stamp set, Bloom Burst. Okay, so that's the one I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using the words from the Storybook Occasions, also found in that mini catalog. So make sure you check out that mini catalog. A lot of really adorable little things in there. And then what I'm going to use is not this one, but I'm going to use the Spring Bloom Minis. This is a very tiny little die. There's actually 3 of them in the large catalog. Summer Bloom Minis, Tattered Bloom Minis, and Spring Bloom Minis. I'm going to use the Spring Bloom Minis on, no, not that one. We're going to use the Tattered Bloom Minis on this card today. All right? I just thought that that one went the best. It's very, very tiny, actually. And you know, with our storage system that I always cut out extra of everything and store them right in here. So this is our large storage pouch and the large storage tab, and I keep everything in there. Make sure you watch my video on the Journey storage system. It's a fantastic video showing you all how I coordinate and sort and keep track of all of my my dies and my stamp sets. And it's just a nice storage system. All right, so we're going to use the Tattered Bloom Minis, and I already have that cut out, but I wanted to show you what I was going to be using. We're going to also be using the gel press tonight, and let's get started. We're going to start with our liquid color, and we're going to use it a couple different ways, but the liquid colored comes in our large catalog. It's in the like in with all the papers and everything. You can get these in a bundle, so you can get the whole bundle and you can take and save a lot of money, and we have 3 new colors in that new little mini. So I want to kind of show you how you use some of these in different ways. So tonight on this card we're going to use them quite a few different ways. The first thing I'm going to do is use my gel press, because that's going to take some time to dry. So let me just grab my gel press and my my liquid color. All right, here's my gel press. Now, when I use my gel press, I leave this little guy on. Okay, this is the little sheet. You come with one on the top, one on the bottom. I leave the one on the bottom, but what I did was I actually marked it up so that I had the sizings of a big card, a regular size card, and a smaller one. And that way there, if you're only working on a small piece of paper, you don't have to go and waste a lot of product to try to get the colors on there. And that's what I'm going to show you tonight. So you can take and you can use full sheets of paper, which I did here, and then, you know, we just cut them up accordingly. But for tonight, what I want to do is I want to use our color splash paper, and what that is our watercolor paper. So let me just grab my pouch. It's got all the little ingredients that I need in there, because these pouches organize me in more ways than one. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my color splash paper right here. I'm going to take 3 of our colors. I'm going to take the Catalina Splash. Actually, I'm going to start with my lovely blue, okay, liquid color. And the reason I'm going to start with that one is because that's the one I want the most color of, and I'm going to keep it within my little squares right here, because I don't need a whole sheet of it. Our color splash papers don't come in full-size sheets. They come in 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch sheets. All right, so I just wanted to keep it within that, just like that. And then I'm going to go with my Lavender Fusion. And for this one, I really don't want the colors to run into each other, so I'm not going to put them too close together. And then I will stop with just a few drops of the Catalina Splash. All right. Now what we're going to do next is to spritz with our little spritzer. These are our media sprayers right here, and I'm just going to take, it's just got water in it, and I'm just going to splash them. Now, because this is very wet, it does take some drying time. Okay, there we go. Just all run in together. I'm going to take my watercolor paper and I'm going to just lay it onto my gel press. And we're just going to let that soak right up. Okay? Now, like I said, there's a lot of water involved in this one, so it will take a little while for it to dry, but isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. So now what we're going to do is to take the, I do have one that's dried, and it does dry lighter, okay? And what I did with this was I took my Tattered Blooms dye, and I ran it through here and got a whole bunch of these little guys right here. All right, so this started out as this, and I just cut them in here. So I needed some colored ones, but I also needed some white ones. So I'm just going to take this, grab that off, or take that off like that, get my bloom tool, and just brush them out. All right, everybody needs a bloom tool. I've always told you that. All right, so now we have white ones, we have colored ones. And the next thing that I need to do is to grab my bloom tool and the little attachment that is the round piece right here. Okay, so we've got 7 tools to go with my bloom tool, but I'm going to take this one off for right now. I'm just looking for this little ball bearing thing right there, okay? So I'm going to take and pull this down. I'm going to pull that out, put this on. I have a whole video on this little guy right here, all right? And then we're just going to take and, there we go. We're going to take and put these in our hand like this and just push the middle of it. All right? And that's what pops them up. I want to keep my white ones separate from my colored ones. So if you take your hand, you take the largest of these bloom tools, the little ones that look like a little ball at the end of it, and then just pop them in your hand like this. And you have enough, and what I'm doing is literally just making them pop, all right? All right, so we've got all those little pieces right there. We've got our background that is done and drying, and I have the pieces for the rest of the card. So what I did with the actual flower was I took and I inked up the vellum with clear pigment ink, and then I put white embossing powder on it, and I heated it, and that's where we got this. Now let me show you how I colored it. I took my vellum and I turned it over, so I'm not working on the front, I'm working on the back. I took my liquid colors again. Remember, liquid colors come in a bundle if you want to get them all at the same time, plus the 3 extra ones in the back of the book. And I'm going to take just one of my large blending brushes, and this is just water right here, okay? So I'm just going to take some water. I'm going to start with my light blue and just color in. I've done quite a few cards like this week, showing you how to do the vellum and showing you how to do all different ones. So today is just one that's a little bit different. Now I'm going to take the Lavender Fusion and just incorporate that. And like I said, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just kind of speckling it all around. I call it whitewashing. And then we're going to take the darker of all of them and just add some color here and there with that one. And then we're going to let this set aside to dry. I've done so many of these cards this week because I absolutely love them. All right, and then I'm going to take my green and just color in my flowers and let these dry. So ones that I had done earlier, the ones that I'm using to actually put this card together, so you don't have to sit here and watch the paint dry. All right, so now what I'll do with this is to just set it aside and let it dry. And I'll show you how I finish this up. Okay, so I took the vellum, I turned it over, I put on my, let me see if I've got one that's a little bit dry, okay? So here's one right here that's drying, and what I did was I took my Journey Glaze and I put Journey Glaze on here. I attached that to a white sheet of cardstock. I let it dry, and then I cut it out. So I have vellum on the top, I have my white cardstock on the back, and now I'm ready to put my card together. It's that simple. And you know, this card just has a lot of depth and dimension to it. I just think it's adorable. So let's just start putting it together. The first thing I want to do is to attach, or not attach, but to stamp my background. So I'm going to take the hydrangea dye. I'm going to take the Catalina ink. I did that with this card also, and that's the one I did the vellum with. So this card right here started out to be exactly like this one right here. So this was the card that you saw, I believe, yesterday, and now we're going to be doing this one, which, like I said, it just has one more element to it. So what I'm doing right now is just adding a little background to it, so it's color on color. Spot there on the bottom and we're good to go. Okay, so that's done. Let's get our ink out of the way. Let's get our stamp out of the way. And now what we're going to do is to start putting our card together. Okay, so let's stamp our Thinking of You. I need the stamp pad back again. This is the Catalina, because everything matches. We're just going to take the Thinking of You and stamp that right down here at the bottom. I love our blocks with the grids. January 2018, these are on sale, people. All of our blocks are on sale. They're all with the etched in grids. I love that. They never come apart. They never, you know, the grids stay on there forever. I love it. All right, so there is our Thinking of You. Let's get our Easy Glide and attach our pieces to the back. These are our layers. Again, looking a lot like the original card, but just adding another element to it. Here we go. I like stamping the background. There we go. All right, so this one is going to get popped on, so let me just grab my Journey foam squares. And we had a huge sale on these foam squares, which was really cool. I stocked up on a bunch of them. All right, and I'll put one right here too. All right, I like that they the little pieces come off so easy. There we go. Oops. All right, so that's going to get attached right here. All right, now this is the coolest thing ever. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our Journey glaze, all right, and then we're going to take and I just like to slather it all over, okay, because this is what our little flowers are going to be attached to. Now I'm going to be also using the Journey glaze to attach each individual flower, but this is going to give me a little bit of a base. All right, so I attached the flower to the white cardstock with Journey glaze, but I'm also attaching my little flowers to it also. So I am just going to plop these everywhere and anywhere. All right, so these are the ones that I already had done. Let's take a bunch of them out right here. And they're all different colors, and that's the beauty of doing this on the gel press, is that you can take and you can mix and match, and every time you cut them out, like this one doesn't match that one. It's just so, I don't want to say uneven, because that sounds like you made a mistake, which is just the opposite. See? Isn't that cute? And the reason you put this underneath it is so that when you're looking at it, you can actually see some of it come through. So you don't want to just make a white one or just cut out a piece from a piece of paper, because you can actually see this coming through. Does that make sense? See, like right there, you can see part of it, so all of the colors match. Put a little bit more right here. I love Journey glaze. It can be used for so many things. Let's put that one there. This would be really pretty as a wedding bouquet also. You know, that I think that would look really pretty. Maybe all done in white, or maybe the bride's colors. I don't know. There's just so many things that you can do with this little hydrangea. I'm just getting more around the edges now that we're getting closer to the end here. All right, let's do a blue one right there. And a white one right there. Now let's do a white one there and a blue one here. And then this will take a little while to dry, and then I'll go back in and I'll put the, I will put pearls in all the little white ones. All right, I'm going to put another one right here, I think. Oops, here we go. And one more right over here. Now when I'm done with my Journey Glaze, I do two things. I wipe off the tip with a little baby wipe. And then what I do is I just kind of tap it. And the reason I do that is to get all of the liquid out of this little cap right here. All right? So, and then you put the lid back on and it's good to go the next time. All right, so now this one is literally done except for, oops, I got to do the thing. But when it dries, I'll go back in and I will add the little pearls to the white ones. Isn't that so cute? I just love this card. I just love it. It's so dimensional. You just have to see it in person. It's so cute. All right, let me just show you how I made my little bow. I'm just going to take 2 pieces of thread because I had these left over from another thing. I'm going to take these 2 and I'm just going to make little loops like this. Okay. And then I'm going to cut off the end and tie it around. And that's going to make my little bow, and I'll attach it with a little mini glue dot here. There we go. Tie that nice and tight. I don't tie it twice, I just tie it the one time. We'll fluff it after it gets onto the card, but let me just grab my mini glue dots here. Okay, and I'm just going to roll this onto my finger and put it on the back end of the flower, or the back end of the bow, and lay that right there. And like I said, the only thing that's left to do in this card is to add my little pearls in the middle of it. But that's all there is to it. I used the gel press. It's just such a cute card. And that's all there is to it. If you have any questions on anything that I showed you today, please let me know. That's what I'm here for. I love to teach this craft. It's just so much fun, and there's so many things you can learn. But that's what you have us for, you know, the Journey Coaches. We are here to help you learn all the tools that we have. It's just so much fun. So you know how to get a hold of me. You take care, have a great day, and thank you for stopping by.